Welcome to the On Stage podcast, where we interview musicians and members of the entertainment community. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a nice, dark, cloudy Saturday, January 27th. We have a band here, wonderful band named Element 117. And we have gentleman on the left is Wayne Anderson. Now, can you introduce yourself, Mr. Element there?
Well, I'm Wayne. I'm lead singer and rhythm guitar player.
I'm Mike Green. I'm the lead guitar player, backing vocals.
Excellent. Love it.
And we're Element 117.
So can you go back to the beginning and what inspired you to become a musician? And can you share your musical journey with us?
Okay, well, I grew up around music. My brother was a musician, my older brother. So, of course, he played around the neighborhood that I lived in. So, you just always was around music. So I was inspired by him and, just had a love of music, man. Just picked up the guitar one day, started messing around with it, played bass in some bands here and there. And, then finally just got on the guitar and started writing songs and went from a couple bands. And now I'm in Element 117.
And how did you hook up with this guy?
Just a mutual friend. I'm friends with his cousin.
Yeah.
So he introduced us and it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been a good team.
Worked out great.
That's awesome. So how would you describe your unique musical style and how has it evolved over time?
Well, what my style?
The band.
The band? Well,
That's wild.
Yeah, that's a good
Let's
question.
see. Yeah, I mean, well, I will say, listen, and don't let Wayne fool you. He is a rock star. Okay. I'll put it to you like this: me and Wayne, from day one, we just clicked. And what we did before we went and got a band was we sat in a living room for 8 months, 2 nights a week, about 3-4 hours a night, and learned each other's styles and just, Wayne just introduced songs. And we just got so tight. And I don't know. Describing our music, it's, how did we put it in that one video?
Yeah,
we're old school.
Yeah, we're an old school band with a modern sound.
Yep.
So we're old school. We like Judas Priest. We like Iron Maiden. We like Rush.
Yeah.
We like, you name it. Mike's his influences are way out of the realm of rock, but he brings it to the guitar. So we're just fans of good music. Michael Jackson, you name it. We like good music, and that influences us to create good music.
I can understand that. What about genres like classical and opera and pop? What do you think of them?
Oh, when it comes to classical, I'm a big Vivaldi fan. I love Vivaldi. Love the Four Seasons. It's probably one of my favorites. Pop music. It's like I tell Wayne and we say all the time. Anybody. It doesn't matter whether you've been a drummer, guitar player, bass player. You get up there and sing. If you do it, you've inspired us.
Yeah.
We're inspired from any type of genre of music. I'm not going to lie. I'm more of the heavier sound. I'm big time, Arch Enemy, Meshuggah. I love bands like that. But I go, I listen to Ice Cube. I listen to Eminem, Taylor Swift. Country music, you name it. I listen to it all.
The Bee Gees.
Love the Bee Gees.
Love the
Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Love these guys, Bee Gees.
Yes, love the Bee Gees.
You name it. I grew up in the 80s, I grew up around certain people, Madonna, Madonna had great stuff. We grew up in a great time to have great music.
Yes. Yeah.
And, we like Megadeth. We like, Slayer, we just but our roots are rock and roll. You know what I mean? Our roots,
Duran.
yeah.
You know,
There's just great music out there. You can't just pick one, but we play what fits us, what comes out of us. You know.
So you don't think you can take like a Duran song like Sirius, or take a song by Britney Spears, like for instance, Stronger? You can't fit that to your genre and try to make best of the cover song?
Yeah, we probably could if we sat down to do it, but our motto is
Yeah.
we'd rather spend time creating
yeah,
than recreating, because that stuff they did was great. It stands the test of time,
exactly.
and why mess with it? We want to write stuff that stands the test of time, and that's just the way we look at it. We're all original heavy metal band, so I'd rather sit there and write a music than try to learn another song. But I don't have a problem with people
try to do
it.
another song justice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tough. You can look at another song and boy, I sit there and say, man, I don't want to mess this thing up.
Yeah, we won't do it no justice.
It's perfect the way it is.
Yeah, we don't want to do no injustice. We love it. We love how things are. Like these old jeans.
Yeah.
Why take them and fix them? They're perfect the way they are. You just let it live its life.
You're one of the rare people that deserve to win the lottery, because if you won 70 million, you're the type of guy that would not even want to, like, there's some really terrible lottery winners out there who would get like 300 million from the Texas State Lottery, and in 6 months is all over. With you can make it last 50 years if you wanted, and grow too. With an attitude like that, no problem.
Yeah, no, you don't get me wrong. I've indulged before, but after having kids and realize how hard you work for what you have, you learn to, especially getting older. 20 years ago, I blow my money, but now I'm getting older. I need to think about my future, but like I said, I love the remakes that like Disturbed did.
Alien Ant Farm, Smooth
Yeah.
Criminal.
Yeah,
Sound of Silence. That was a
good.
good cover version. I gotta admit, guys, that there are some covers out there that are a lot better than the original, and theirs was a lot better than the original.
Very true.
I like Simon and Garfunkel, but Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence was excellent.
Oh, yes, excellent. That was incredible.
Yeah. See, if I could do that, maybe I would consider. But man, if you're gonna redo someone's song, especially that song. Disturbed did they did Phil Collins.
Yeah, they did. Genesis.
Yeah,
Land of Confusion.
Yeah, they've mastered that art. I wish I could do something like that. And
you could. Just put your heart to it.
We could. Like Van Halen. They made
almost a whole album.
Yeah, they did. And who knew? But we're just on a little run, and we have a great team, and we're just going to ride us till the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
Good for you. That reminds me, I don't know if you're familiar with a band called Classic Albums Live.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Okay, so I watched one of their concerts in August and September, and what they do is they take an album and they recreate it. So in this case, it was Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, and they played every single song off that album. And one of my friends, Armando, and shout out to my friend Armando out there, he is a big Pink Floyd fan. And I looked down and said, and he goes, almost 100% perfect, because they did every jot, every tittle, everything. Dark Side of the Moon. It was amazing. That's what they do. And then finally it culminated with a song, Another Brick in the Wall, which is like, from the wall. It's like, it was great. Yeah. So stuff like that. And they do covers for everyone, and it's amazing. And I like how you mentioned Taylor Swift. I really like Taylor Swift. I'm a Swiftie myself, but I also like Billy Joel and Elton John, and I listen to a lot. Like my Spotify playlist of a whole bunch of genres. I'm a big Imagine Dragons fan. I love Blue October. No problem.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So with the songs that you say that you want to write yourself, can you tell us about the creative process behind your most recent album or project, such as Looking for You? How did that come to be?
Well, Looking for You, and Mike will relate on this too. We're looking for you was a riff I had. And I had written a whole structure of the song, and going back to the 8 months we spent in the living room at Mike's house, Mike brought the he brought he that's that little he brought, remember that, he brought to that table. So we had a whole structure of Looking for You. So we went in to go record it with Anthony Focx for Focx Productions. You might want to look him up. Yeah. He's pretty legendary himself.
Yes, he is.
And he plays drums with Element 117. And Anthony just started writing. He started changing the structure around with the songs. He's like, "Hey, let's do this. Let's do this," and just turn it into a
masterpiece,
great masterpiece song. So I had laid the foundation down. Me and Mike had laid the foundation down, and Anthony Focx had come in there and had helped Mike with the lead, write the lead, and had wrote some different parts of the song, and he mastered and mixed it, produced it, and it just came out great in our opinion.
Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
Anthony Focx. Shout out to Anthony Focx.
Yes, Focx Productions. Yeah. Look it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting to have him on the podcast and talk to him about what.
Yeah, we might get him in at one time. You showed us the picture of all the gold records that you had going to Anthony's house.
Going to his house, it looks just like that.
Yeah, it looks just like that.
I don't know if you ever done a kind of tour of a recording studio like that, but I tell you, I was like, I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah, if you go to Anthony Fox's website, he's in front of one of them big boards like you showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's mastered and mixed for like Ace Frehley, Night Ranger.
Yep.
Night Ranger, wow.
For Sting, he's done some great stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll get more into Anthony later on because he's a big part of Element 117.
Yes.
And what I didn't realize is that one of those pictures of the platinum albums, I think it was a gold album, was that Nelly Furtado also recorded there. So we had all these big artists in town, and I didn't even know until I went on the tour when I saw a wall of really Prince recorded musicology here. Really? So
that's incredible.
We might have to go up to Toronto.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Oh. Yeah, if you're up in Toronto, give me a shout and I'll take you through there.
Definitely.
Good.
And what about Dreams? How did that come to be? That was just recent.
Dreams is another one.
Yeah.
I was sitting down in my house and come up with a riff and come up with the structure of the song, and the funny thing about Dreams is Mike had never heard it. Mike had never played the song before, not once.
I went into the studio cold.
Yeah. So I bring the song to Anthony again, and Anthony, the great producer he is, man, he broke that thing down and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this." He pulled his guitar down off the wall, and he just started building structure around the song. And Mike came in, and he laid down that. But I already had all the lyrics written for it, and Dreams is about just standing up, man, and just believing in yourself, and
all positive messages.
It's all positive. Go out there and go for what you believe in, because you only live once, and make your dreams come true. Let them, your dreams going to come true if the fire's in there. It's like going to work every day. If you go to work every day all miserable, we all been there. Your job it ain't very fun. It's just don't be there. Let the fire burn in you. Like you doing your show, your dreams coming true. Dreams is anything you want it to be, man. Just go out there and get what you want. That's Dreams.
Wow, I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
How do you feel your personal experiences and life stories have influenced your music?
Oh, well, I mean, okay, so when I was 17 years old, I joined the United States Marine Corps, and I did 6 years. So that taught me a lot on, just how I attack the music. I have that never give up attitude, and just push myself. I mean, Anthony Focx and Wayne have me playing stuff that I'm not going to lie, I never thought I could play on the guitar. You know, I'm by no means at all. I am no virtuoso on the guitar, but you know, I mean, Wayne and Anthony, and you know, they got me. And so, I mean, my big experience, like I said, has to do a lot with the Marine Corps. You know, I have a great wife, a great family that supports the hell out of me every step of the way. You know, and that's one thing I will tell every musician out there. You need that in your life.
Yeah, I know a few people who I've interviewed who's one guy, especially his wife, plays the drums. Her name is
Oh,
Beth.
wow.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you have the Gallagher brothers, Liam and Noel, who like totally.
Yeah.
Like,
They
you
play
have-
these.
Yeah, they,
Yeah. You get that. If I was in
Play
a
the
band, I would not
fisticuffs.
want any members of my family in there. None. Not because
Yeah,
I don't. It's just that I feel that, like, it's sort of like working with your wife. Like, if you were married, well, of course you're married, but if I was married and my wife had to, if I met my wife at work, it'd be different. But if I met her and then she got a job at my work, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But in a band, like, I mean, that's probably, I don't want to, you probably get mad at me when I say that, but that's probably why a lot of men and women join bands, because they want a little break from their spouses who are at home with the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that way. You're going to shut me down now?
No. I mean, I'll be honest with you. To me, being in a band is because I'm a very, you know, all go, no quit person all the time. And the comfortablest I ever feel is when I'm on stage. You know, beside that, I'm bouncing off walls 100% of the time. You know.
Yeah, my wife's supportive, but my wife likes Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
You know, she likes Led Zeppelin, and I'm a little heavy, but she's supportive. She'll come to the shows now and then if I'm playing, and but she's like, Wayne, like you said, that's your release. You know, that's your space, and she grants that to me. You know, and it's
Wow.
Like, I don't know if I could have my wife at my practice every day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Mike don't have a problem with it. You know,
Yeah.
and but that's a good thing. You know, it's a release. This is a release for me.
That's interesting. Because I'm a vocalist myself, and I remember during one of our recitals, it was my turn to go up and sing Broken Vow by Josh Groban. And my brother and my sister wanted to watch. And the first thing you got to do is, I don't know about you, but if your wife is watching you and encouraging you and there for support, the least you want to do is be on a mic and saying, "Hi, honey," and then singing to them, because you're not going to sing your best. So if you pretend that they're not in the audience, you'll do your best. And that's what I did. I pretended that they weren't there, and I sang my best. But
Very nice.
but I got a ticket for the Puccini Tosca, because it's a number called Nessun Dorma. You know, it goes Nessun Dorma.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting there watching that whole performance, that whole musical, and then the tenor who's going to be singing Nessun Dorma, because Nessun Dorma was written for a tenor. I'm going to be sitting there thinking, I'm trying to learn this song because one day I'm going to be singing Nessun Dorma. That's why I'm there. And I love musicals. I love shows like that. But it's great that you have spouses to be there. But have any of your siblings, if you have any, wanted to be at your shows as well?
Well, I don't have very many. I don't have very many siblings that live in Tennessee. I mean, my immediate family. My mother and my stepfather live in Tennessee, but my brothers and sisters live in California. But I have some nephews that go to my shows. Yeah. And getting back real quick to the spouse, me and my wife been together married for like 26 years, and she see me coming from playing down, driving her crazy. Driving her nuts, and I think she really appreciates where I'm at in the music right now. I think she's more more astonished that she's like, wow, you're really doing this, you know. Because I've always was entertainer. I always I did things but I ended up having kids, and I put everything on the backside to raise my kids, because I had to work, I had to pay the mortgage, and and there's musicians out there that do it, but my thing was I had to go to work and take care of my family. And now my kids got all grown, and I was like, you know what, Debbie, this is what I'm doing.
Now it's time.
And if I didn't run across Mike, it wouldn't be where it is right now. So he has a lot to do with it, and Anthony and everybody involved, and Michael and everybody involved is helped this come to light.
Let me ask you, were your spouses afraid that when you got into rock and roll, that rock and roll and drugs and alcohol was synonymous?
Well, funny you ask that, because ever since I've been in a band, I've never drank, smoked, or did any drugs. But before I was in a band, I drank, smoked, and did drugs.
Oh, really? Opposite? Wow. You did the complete opposite. That's amazing.
Yeah. Because, my life, I messed around down in my basement, but, that's where I stayed because I couldn't go drive. Yeah. Wasn't going to go put myself in a DUI situation. But once I sobered up and said, boom, man, it was there. The world was a limit. I could go drive. I could go drive to Memphis and go play. Yeah. I could go downtown to support other bands, which I never could do. I'd have to call a friend of, hey, come pick me up, and whatever. And it was just like sobriety. This is part of my sobriety. And I didn't have a big problem. I smoked cigarettes. I wanted to quit smoking. It was just, it ran its course for me. And then this Element 117's evolved from me just letting me be myself. Exactly. And I don't think Mike, I don't really see these guys party. They might have a beer here and there, but
no, my when I got out of the Marine Corps for about 10 years, I was like, I just went wild. And then finally was like, you know what? I'm at this age where I've had enough of that. Now I need to focus and concentrate. So yeah, that's basically, you get to that certain age where it's like, enough,
Yeah, but to each his own.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, when you were in the Marine Corps, was there any, when you came out of it, was there any PTSD involved in your life?
I don't know. A lot of people say so. I don't think so, but a lot of people say that I do have it. And I mean, I'm also a Desert Storm veteran. So I was in the Marine Corps from 87 to 93. Yeah. So I was over there for about 14 months. And yeah, so I've seen a lot, seen a little bit more than what I should have.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen a lot.
I'll tell you what, I grew up real fast, and something I needed. Something I definitely needed.
I saw a video that was taken during World War I. Well, not a video; it was like a film, but during World War I World War II, with shell-shocked veterans, and they were shaking like this and like this, and I'm like, God, wow! Have you ever had that shell shock?
Yeah, my wife says yes. But she pays attention to me more than I do.
Well, you found yourself in music allows you to have a little escape from that, and because
it does. Yeah, it does. But I will say, I mean, as much as music helps me escape, just having that person in your life that supports it, that helps, because I can have music as an escape, but if you don't have that person that supports it, when I come home, there's no support there. And so, I mean, it works both ways. It really helps out. Really helps.
Yeah, his wife, she's very active in the group.
Yeah.
She's actually like a member.
Is it the bass guitar, electric guitar that you play? I guess
I play electric.
Okay, so you have the 6-string. What about you, Wayne?
I play the electric guitar too.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know the bass guitar is 4 strings, but do you do you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Great.
Right here, this is my battle axe.
Wow, I love that. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is called a Jackson Warrior.
Yeah.
I love this when guests do this.
This right here, this is where all the magic happens.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
is that fiberglass or what?
Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, wood. Okay.
Yes, it's a great guitar. I actually got this from Michael.
Yeah.
He I actually got this from him. I had made a trade with him on this for another guitar that he had bought.
Wow. So I love that.
This is great. But yeah, this is the new song that we're going to go into the studio Monday is written off of this guitar.
Oh, wow.
And if you hear my songs, all the songs that I create, I got 30 guitars.
Yeah.
And every
You
time I get a
do?
guitar, I write a new song.
Wow,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, inspired.
It's funny because I was playing one night and one of my neighbors came over and he looked and he's like, Mike, why do you have so many guitars? And I showed him, I said, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be like, they all have a different sound. He's like, no, isn't it the amp? I said, no, watch this. So I plugged in and I kept the same setting on the amp and I plugged one guitar in and then I unplugged it and I plugged another one and he goes, wow, they sound different. I said, that's why I have so many different guitars.
That's amazing.
They're all tuned the same. It's just one's made with a different wood, one has different electronics, and it makes it just sound different.
Wow. I've asked many
Yeah.
musicians, like I say, is there a difference between
Yeah.
a bass guitar, electric guitar, and is a difference of electric guitar made with wood or what? You're
Yes.
the ones that gave me the best answer because that's what I thought that
Well,
that they
yeah.
all have. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you have some guitars that are made out of maple, some made out of poplar wood, some made out of basswood, and each one has its own sound. And you'll notice, like, if you watch a lot of genres of music, a lot of your heavy metal players play Jackson guitars. That's because the wood is very light, so their sound is very precise. You see a lot of your Jimmy Pages and stuff playing the Gibson Les Pauls. Nice, warm sound. They're all tuned the same. They all use the same equipment, but that
Wow.
guitar is what separates it, that sound.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you go to war with your axe.
You do. You do.
Like that guitar. That thing, I'll play that thing till it falls, till it don't play no more.
Instead of shooting guns, you shoot guitars.
Yes.
Yeah. You write. I
Understand.
can write with multiple guitars, but I only play 2 guitars on stage.
But can you do this?
Oh, that I
Nod your
leave
head.
that to I leave the showboat in him.
Why is it so difficult to do? Do you have to spend time learning how to do that before you can get it?
You know, it's some of that, stage presence, man. That's
Yeah.
big. I'm big on stage presence,
Exactly. I've always had the philosophy of, if you pay $5 to come watch me play, I'm going to give you a $10 show. You deserve it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Always
$100
have that.
And the good thing about it, we won't even charge you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just come watch us, because
Nice.
what I've seen, we're in our 50s,
Yeah.
and we grew up in the hair metal era, and I grew up in California, and I seen what a crowd can do to a band when you're playing in front of a full packed house. That's when the guys start playing behind his back. You think Jimi Hendrix would have lit his guitar on fire if there was no one at Woodstock?
No.
No. And that's what the music's missing. The music is missing the energy. Some bands are, they might play a packed out house all the time, but a lot of original artists, man, they can't get the people to come to the shows, and they have great music. And if people did come to the shows, man, that guy might play behind his back that thought he would never play behind his back. Michael Jackson would never did the moonwalk if people weren't there. So the interaction is key, man. And like Mike said, you pay $5, we're going to give you $10.
That's
we're going
awesome. I like that.
every time, we're going to leave it out on the stage all the time, because that's how I was brought. I'm a big Kiss fan. I grew up Kiss fan.
Yeah.
Everything was a visual, So we're proud to put on a good show.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you this question as well. So what do you feel about, I don't know what guitarists and what bands would do this, but I have an image in my mind of this lead singer with the long hair in the years gone by where they're taking a guitar and they're going, what's that all about?
I've never really understood. I've never understood breaking your gear. You must have a lot of money.
Yeah, I never understood it with the Who. I kind of did understand it with Jimi Hendrix when he did it. That one time, it was more of a protest thing and just, hey, watch me, I'm the gypsy. But all the other bands, I never really understood.
Yeah, I've never understood why you would smash your
Yeah.
bass.
Yeah.
But hey, to each his own. People might dig that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not smashing that Warrior. Count all that. Ugh.
Well, it's interesting because I had a guest the other day, a group called Dinky Music, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
song they did. I can't wait for you guys to watch it when I upload it. But
Yeah.
it's a song called "It's Not About You," and what they did is in the studio, and they told me how the whole video was shot where they threw paint on all their instruments. So the whole room, their whole instruments were covered in paint, and they were still able to play the drums and the guitar. And I asked
Yeah.
them, is that possible to play the guitar and the drums with all that paint on? I said, no. What they did is they couldn't play it, but then in the end, they took the actual track and put it on top. So it
Yeah.
makes it look
Yeah.
like it. But in real
Yeah.
life, you're like going, all that paint, right? So that's the next. I like how musicians do that. You were
Yeah, if
talking about how.
you're doing it for a video. I could
If
see
that's
that.
all
Yeah,
visual.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So you were talking about how you're a Kiss fan. So can you tell me what musicians or other albums have had the most significant impact on your own musical development?
Um, probably, probably Iron Maiden
Maiden.
and maybe Rat.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. It's Judas Priest stuff. I'm a guitar god band. I like lead guitar, Megadeth. Just variety. But when the rubber hits the road, I like kick-ass rock music.
Exactly. Anything that grooves, I mean, that's one thing that we also try to make sure. If you have to be able to tap your foot to our music, if you're not, then we ain't moving you. If you're tapping your foot, then we know we're doing our job. We're moving you. We're making you feel the music.
Okay.
Yeah, what I found out too, like you said, from all the different genres that we grew up listening to, like I mean, I'm not going to be shy. I love Cyndi Lauper. I mean, girls just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I sang that thing a million times. Great song. We're doing a new song patch today, and Mike's going, "Man, this is kind of out of our element. It's element 117.
Exactly.
You could dance to this stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's no shame in our game. You know what I mean? We just want to give you good music.
That's all. That's what it's about.
It might be a rock and double bass song. This one be, looking for you. Go dance on the dance floor. You know what I mean? Groove.
I know. And I'll share with you my on the dance floor story, but I'm not a big Cyndi Lauper fan. I like a few of her songs, but there is one that I really love called "I Will Be Strong."
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful song where she's singing and she's by the window and everything. If you guys could just do a cover version of that, because I've tried cover version of that. It's very difficult because you have that high and low there. But
yeah, it's tough, huh?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not saying I'm a huge Cyndi Lauper fan, but she was part of my life.
Yeah.
She was part of MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, when everything.
Yeah.
Everything, growing up, everything was audio, and then MTV hit, and then you could actually put a face with the music.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like with me, my guitar hero is, I grew up Peter Constantagus. He was a local guy from where I'm from, Massachusetts. That he was the one that made me play guitar. But I remember the first time seeing Eddie Van Halen on TV, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That visual just came, and it was like, here we go. And that's what and that's what we try to, do, not only with the music, but, we love to perform, give you that visual. You can see, hey, we put everything into giving you this. Now we're going to give you that show. We're going to make you go home and say, you know what? I might not have liked that band. I might not have liked their music, but man, they were great guys. Or, hey, I love them. I love their music.
Yeah. Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what kind of meal do you love enjoying with one another?
Food?
Anything that the wife cooks, Melissa.
I like it when she makes chicken parmesan.
Oh, nice.
She makes the killer chicken parmesan.
Mike is a steak and potatoes guy, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm meat and potatoes, yeah. But anything she makes, it's like incredible.
Yeah, we both of us great wives.
That's incredible.
Exactly.
Could you Could you literally write a song with just a title? Because I was talking to someone else, and if you give them a title, they will write a song about it. For instance, let's say I give you the title, My Laptop is Broken or something. What would be your actual approach to songwriting? What are some of the techniques or tools that you would use in that creative process?
For me, I would just probably I would start out with like a beat.
Yeah.
Then I would just get that beat going. Then I would just write. I'd probably write some lyrics about my laptop being broken.
Yeah.
Then I'd bring it to Mike and he'd finish it.
See, that's one thing I will say that I love about Wayne is Wayne, from the first word to the last word, if you listen to them songs, they were all a story. Wayne just doesn't, I'm just going to throw these words here, these words here. He tells a story in all them songs. And that's one thing, like Wayne, you say, Wayne, my laptop is broken. Wayne's going to start off where that song where when I purchased it and, I was doing and he's going to tell the story on why that laptop is broken.
Yeah, then when the song's over, it's going to be fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that positive message. He might get frustrated, this is that, but he'll figure it out. And when the song's done, that laptop is fixed.
Because music is a release for so many people.
Yeah.
Like we said, we grew up in MTV era. We grew up in the greatest time of music, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then we also grew up in the most bad time of music. Where suicide was rampant, where people were just down, man. And it's just, you've seen music go from the highest point to its lowest point. And in that, man, I always said, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be positive, because I live in a town in Tennessee where the suicide rate is twice the national average.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Man, I have my kids were in grade school, and a person from the grade school had committed suicide. When they were in junior high school, people from the school committed suicide. When they were in high school, people from the school committed suicide. There's just so much negativity, man. And man, I want to let people know, dreams, man, dreams come true, believe in yourself, and it's like people are scared to follow their dreams, because, what's he going to think? Oh, you're weird. Don't worry about what people think.
Yeah. Because if there's one thing about this world that's always been consistent is music.
Yeah.
No matter what. I'm originally from Massachusetts. Wayne's here in Nashville. You're in Canada. You might have listeners from England and stuff, and we're all that one common thing. We're all talking about music.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. You're talking about, Wayne, about how you would Mike said you would take the song like My Laptop is Broken and then you purchase and everything. It brought to mind, I don't know if you're familiar with a Canadian singer by the name of Dave Carroll from a group called Sons of Maxwell. So what happened is that the group had taken their guitar and they stored it with, how they with luggage for airline, like United Airlines. And they broke his guitar. So they wrote a song called United Breaks Guitars. And the whole song is about, what happened to the guitar, how they broke and everything. And so it's sort of like that. We talk about laptop was broken, the day it was that you purchased it, what happened to it, why it's a whole song. So it was kind of interesting.
Awesome.
That's what it is. That's what, because you'll have that one person in the crowd that Wayne will sing a song, and there's that one person always that's like, oh my God, that's my life.
Yeah.
5 years ago, that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah. You told the story of my life. That's what it is. You just touching that one person at every place we play.
And in Element 117, we have about 3 albums written.
Yeah.
Enough material. We're just, like I said, Element 117 is hooked up with Anthony Focx. And so as you start hearing these songs, you're going to hear a different message in them, because a lot of it is is me. Like you're standing there with your back against the wall. You know what I mean? Are you in it to win it all? You know what I mean? it's just anything. It's just music is very powerful, and I want to send the right message to the person
Exactly.
that needs
tomorrow,
to hear it.
worry about tomorrow.
Yeah,
worry about today.
like
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You haven't
Yeah.
touched on it yet, but tomorrow's the same way. It's your problems ain't going nowhere. I heard one guy say it the other day: money don't solve all the problems.
Exactly.
Because once the money solves the problems, there's something else out there that money ain't going to solve. So
Yeah.
enjoy your moment, because your problems are going to be there. Don't stress yourself out.
Wow,
And
that is so inspirational, my friend. Wow.
It's part of life, but hey, don't stress yourself out so bad, because tomorrow's, if by the grace of God, you're going to be here tomorrow and you're going to have to attack it. So enjoy it. Find a way to get through it.
Wow. So inspirational. Thanks for that.
I'm inspired.
Yeah.
Michael Green inspires me. You inspire me.
Thank you.
Everybody I see out there is inspiring, because life is not easy.
No, when you're talking about those around your area just commit suicide, I'm Tennessee. I'm thinking of Chester Bennington from
Yes.
Lincoln Park. How he was just suddenly off himself and leaving Mike Shinoda to deal with the whole mess.
Yeah.
How can someone just do that? He had a wife, he had children, he had a great band, and suddenly, oops, I got to leave this planet. It makes no sense.
And and it's like you said, there's two different kinds of suicides that you see. When you see a sixth grader kill themselves, it's totally different than Chester Bennington killing himself. Chester Bennington, Chester had, in my book, I believe suicide is a very selfish act. A lot of you leave people to pick up the pieces. But when someone's 6 years old or 7 years old or 10 years old, why?
Yeah.
What was going? You can't. What made that kid do that? Social media,
online bullying, social network bullying.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like it's suicide is different when it comes among children than it comes from men. Because I've had quite a few of my friends commit suicide, and I seen the aftermath of it. The parents ain't never the same.
No.
The brothers ain't never the same.
Yeah.
And
even friends.
Yeah. So I think our community is doing good about addressing the situation. It needs to be addressed, and I'm an advocate of life. Live your life. Don't worry about what people think of you. If you want to be this or be that, go be it. Because that person don't have no right to tell you how to live your life. And hopefully one day that if our music ever gets out that far and I can make a difference in someone's life, I'm going to be there. Hey, you can call me anytime. If that kid's making fun of you, man, you just listen to one of my songs, dude, because I'm going to tell you it's okay to be who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be Dreams would be the song to listen to, I guess, huh?
Yes.
We want everyone to listen to that one. But
I'm glad you enjoy that.
Yeah,
we're
very much.
We're very proud of that song.
Yeah.
And we have Martin Motnik playing bass on that song. You could probably look him up too. He's from Germany.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he plays in the rock band Accept.
Send him my way and we'll book him.
Yeah, we'll get him up on there. Definitely. And he does all of our studio work and stuff. And
wow.
He has done our studio work for us, and we're hoping to work with Martin some more. And but it's just man, music's powerful. It's got us to meet you.
Precisely.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. But how you guys, Mike?
Yeah.
And Wayne, this is attributed to both of you. You can answer one at a time if you want. How do you handle the challenges of balancing your personal life with the demands of being a musician?
Personal life and musician. I don't. To me, there's no separation. It's a love. If I'm a musician, I'm a musician all the time. Whether I'm at my regular job, whether I'm home, I'm out. It's just I have that. I feel like I'm just a musician all the time. So there's really no separation and balance in the life. And like I said, once again, when you have the right people that support you, it makes it so much easier. There is you have to make no separation.
Wow. Amazing. And you, sir?
Same
Wayne?
thing. Same thing. You know, I look at mine as a release.
Yeah.
So anytime I get to go play, practice, perform, I love it. I love breaking gear down. I love getting there early and setting up. You know, you make it work. You rearrange your schedule so you can have that time.
Mm-hmm.
And it does, when you're really digging down and you're playing, I mean, it can take some time, getting home at 2:00 in the morning, you got to go to work at 5.
Exactly.
And you're not drinking, and you're waking up still going, wow, you feel like you drank.
Yeah.
But I mean, we enjoy doing it. And I think that's why it works, because I'm doing this because I want to do it.
Yeah.
And
because there's no better feeling in the world than what we're doing right now. We have you talking to us, asking us questions. It's just like, you have no idea. I mean, how much we appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
You, all your listeners, everybody. I mean, to us, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Well, we like to just go out there and be creative.
Yeah.
It's in this day and age. I mean, if you want to go rough it and go and do what you need to do, that's the road you're going to go down.
Yeah.
And we're just thankful to do this, and hey, we're just going to see where it takes us. You never know. You might see us in Toronto one day.
Yeah.
I'll go out and see you. No problem.
Yeah. Because we want to go down there. I know the people in Toronto like to hear good music, and hopefully they're hearing it down there.
Oh, yeah.
We really
Let me
hope
know.
that they're
Yeah, let me know, and I'll be right down there.
okay, cool.
Buy you
Yeah,
guys
we'll have to
lunch.
Hook you up with Melissa. She does the booking for us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, appreciate that. So I take it you play in a studio, or do you play at home? Do you play usually at home? Your wives have to listen to that?
Yeah, but I'm very, I don't blare out. You know what I mean? I have a studio down in my basement. Mike has his studio. His wife likes it loud and crazy.
Yeah. See, my wife is the type of person where if I'm sitting there watching TV for about 2 hours, she'll be like, "Why ain't you got a guitar in your hand?"
Now,
Yeah, so we'll be creative. We'll be creative at home.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be creative at home.
now, please be honest with me in this question.
Yeah.
Do your wives have a set out to say, okay, at this time you're turning everything off and you stop playing? Is there a certain restriction, or can you play at 3 a.m. without her saying, "Turn that down, Wayne, I'm trying to sleep"?
No.
It's kind of funny. Like I said, me and my wife been together 26 years. I remember when I first got my wife, we did our share of drinking, you know what I mean? And man, it'd be 3:00 in the morning, and my wife would make fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's now. Have I kept her up? Yes. And would I be mad if she told me to turn it down? No. But she's like, she lets me do what I want, and I try to be respectful to her. If I know that she's and I go to bed really early too,
Yeah.
because I get up really early.
Yeah.
But when I did Looking for You, when I started writing Looking for You, I think I did them lyrics at 3:00 in the morning. So if you get caught up in something, you stay on it.
Yeah.
When it's hidden, you keep it going.
I think the
Yeah,
latest I stayed up was once when I went to a New Year's Eve party and I didn't get home till 8 a.m.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty
And I slept right through to 4:30. But usually it's 1 or 2. But I think last night was like 3:30. But yeah, I'm kind of a night owl. But I should stop that because I'd be up at 5:30 usually. And people my age, you need your 8 hours or 7 hours, whatever. But how do you feel that your music connects or impacts your listeners? Like, what kind of response do you hope to evoke in them?
Positive messages. I don't want people to come up and thank us. I'd rather thank them for listening to it. And I just want to hear everybody say, I was in a bad time and I listened to the song and boy, it helped me. I think to me that would be the biggest compliment.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just want people to get the same feeling I had when I listened to when I put on Rat and I heard Insane, the feeling I got, or when I heard
that's heavy.
When I heard Lick It Up, when I played the Lick It Up album and I listened to it over and over and over and over and over, and just the feeling I got. That's what I want the message. That's what I want people to feel that hey man, that's love that. Because we've had people, I've gotten messages and then people are like, man, you're my favorite band. And I'm going, whoa, that's heavy. It's far and in between, but it's happened.
That makes it all worth it.
It makes you want to get up there and write another kick-ass song.
Exactly.
And call it kick-ass song.
Yes.
Like Mike says. He says he always says it.
Another banger.
Another banger.
Start with the time when you met the person and then you started getting kind of a friction, and the time when you hit them and kicked them in the ass.
Because Mike, and Mike's a very humble man. He's very modest, and he'll put himself out for anybody. If you're a guitar player, he's going to sit back there and give you your time. He don't have an ego. I mean, there ain't an ego bone in that man's body. And I'm going, wow, I get to play with this dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not even the best guitar player in my own band.
See what I'm talking about? But that's why this is why this thing works, because Mike makes me feel so comfortable, man. When I bring a demo to him, and he's just like, man, another banger.
Let's do it.
And it's just like Melissa says, Wayne, you can never bring us a bad song.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about. That's what keeps it going. Humility and humbleness. But on the other hand, we're very, we know what we got and we know what we're bringing. And we want to be a force to be reckoned with, because the stronger the band is, the more time we can spend doing this.
Yes.
And the more we spend doing this, the more we can be creative and bring a message to people.
What kind of message do you think Kiss gave to people when they showed up playing in this kind of like a clowny type costume?
Well, that was a little before my time.
Mm-hmm.
I caught the tail end of it. I was listening to Kiss in 79, listening to Kiss in 80, because my brothers had all the records. But I really didn't know. When I was 13 years old, that's when I really got into Kiss. Lick It Up. No makeup. But the message they sent me at 13 years old was go out and be the best you can be.
Yeah.
You go out there and live your life. That's the message that I got from Kiss. Kiss told, man, I grew my whole business on Gene Simmons. Hey, you go out there and you take over the world. That's that. They taught me that you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Now the message they had with the makeup that people got, I don't know. I think they just, they definitely did something right, because they were the hottest band in the world at one time.
Yeah.
And can't take that from them.
No.
And it's kind of funny because I'm 13 years old. When he told me, hey, we got a new record coming out, you know how I went and got it? I went out and mowed a yard. I went and kept score at the bowling alley. Wow. Kiss taught me to be independent.
Yeah.
Do whatever, be whatever you want to be, Wayne.
Yeah. And you can also, like you can also take it with the whole, like with me with Kiss, and then it kind of reminds me, 30 years after Kiss, we see another band come out and try to do the same thing with Slipknot. And, it's like, Slipknot came out with the attitude of, it ain't about what we look like. Here's our music, Yeah, it's not about, we're pretty boys and this and that, and all the girls are going to flock. I think the Kiss did the same thing. They're like, hey, listen, we want to go out there and show you that we're about the music, but we're also, these big life rock stars, and you can do it too.
Yeah, because you want to have all this music without I mean, you ask anybody from Snake, from Skid Row, to I mean any rock star, who'd you grow up to? And I think they got I think Kiss gave that message to go get
Garth Brooks,
Yeah,
biggest band was Kiss. He loved growing up.
yeah. So I think Kiss,
Crazy.
I think Kiss instilled that message to go out and take it.
Yeah,
Because I think Gene Simmons, from his upbringing and where he's from, that he got a taste of life, and he wanted everybody to know you can have it too.
exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, I
Gene.
gotta ask then. Then Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, or Peter Criss? Which one is your favorite?
Ace Frehley.
Gene Simmons.
Ace Frehley. Okay.
I love it. Listen, Ace to me was, and here's another one. My two most underrated guitarists of all time, Rick Emmett from Triumph and Ace Frehley. They are two of the most underrated guitar players of all time.
Let me say one more thing about Kiss, and then I'll won't talk about them no more. This is how powerful music is.
Okay.
I was 14. When I was 13 years old, I had bought tickets to go see Kiss in Queensryche. I was living in Sacramento, California. I went out because Gene taught me, hey, you can have all the money you want. You can have whatever you want. I went out and bought my own Kiss tickets. 2 tickets to Kiss in Oakland, California. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I just ended up buying these tickets. Mm-hmm. So I went home and I said, Mom, I bought some tickets to Kiss in Oakland. I'm going. She goes, no, you're not. So she took my tickets from me and gave it to my older brother. He ended up going to see Kiss in Oakland. But the following year, I went out and bought Kiss tickets again. This, I think, in 1985. I bought Kiss tickets. It was Kiss and Wasp. And I remember they played at Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento, California. And I ended up having a Kiss doll. Remember the Kiss dolls?
Yes.
I had a Gene Simmons Kiss doll. And I was walking through the auditorium, and I had like 5th row seats. And people were like, hey, man, I'll give you $100 for the Kiss doll. And I'm like, no, I'm giving it to Gene. So during the show, I went to the security guard and said, hey, can I give Gene my Kiss doll? And he goes, sure. So I went up in the front, and it was a high-rise stage, about 5 foot stage, 4 foot stage. And for some reason, I gave the Gene Simmons doll to Paul Stanley. He got on his knee like this, and I handed him the Kiss doll, and he looked at the Kiss doll, and I seen him go like this, and he throws the doll into the crowd. And I see this happen in slow motion. I jump back and I put my foot on the seat. I jump up. I grab that Kiss doll out of the air, fall over the seat. I get in this big old tumble with these guys. I finally get my Kiss doll back. I was 15 years old. I was like, screw you, Paul Stanley. Screw you. I ended up giving my doll to Gene Simmons. He stuck it on his mic stand, and he sang Cold Gin to me.
Nice.
And didn't even take his eyes off me the whole song.
Nice.
And and I was just like, wow. About 6 years ago, Paul Stanley came out with a book. I read the book, and I realized how Gene Simmons had just put Kiss on the back burner all these years, and how Paul Stanley kept Kiss going. Yeah. I finally forgave Gene. I finally forgave Paul Stanley like at 46 years old.
Wow.
I held a grudge for 30 years against this dude, but they were still my favorite band. Wow. It just tells you how powerful things can be. Now I have all the respect in the world for Paul Stanley because what he did to keep Kiss alive. And Gene's went down another little road, you know. But that's my Kiss story. It's just that's power. For me to hold a grudge for 30 years
on your favorite band.
Okay, Mr. Green, do you have a Kiss story?
I caught Eric Carr's drumstick at that show.
Mr. Green, do you have a Kiss story or some other band story of where you met one of the members?
I will say this. Kiss was my second concert ever my mother brought me to. Behind, I have the greatest first concert ever story. My mother brought me to see Barry White. That was my first concert ever. The late, great Barry White.
Yeah, Barry White.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, seeing concerts, I've seen, I mean, okay, my favorite band is Iron Maiden. I've seen them 11 times. You know, I've seen Van Halen 7 times. I don't know. I think with me, it was more like the personal experiences of I toured with Kitty and Fear Factory, you know, for maybe 9-10 shows, and just, you know, hanging with them and stuff. And it was just, you know, great experience. We played with Vince Neil, you know, I'll tell you, the stories you heard about him in the 80s and 90s, he is probably one of the nicest people in the world. You know, when we played with him, you know, I don't know, Saliva, you know, played with them. Oh, LA Guns. Ended up playing with LA Guns one day. So they show up and their trailer broke down. So they come to the show with no equipment. So they their audio guys running around like, hey, whose stuff is that on stage? Well, I had all my equipment on stage. So they're like, listen, we have no guitar amps. You mind if we use yours? I said, go ahead. Please be my guest, you know? Yeah. And, you know, they remembered that, you know, they'll always remember that. Yeah.
That's an amazing story, but I like Wayne's better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He actually met members of Kiss.
LA Guns.
But see, here's the thing. Wayne's the rock star. That's why. I'm not. So he's got all the cool stories.
Well, the cool thing about it is we got a rock star in our group.
Yes.
With Anthony. He actually played with Vince Neil.
Yeah.
Played some. Then he played with Alice Cooper. He's on the Alice Cooper Poison
Alice
video.
Cooper, really?
Yeah.
I'd love to have him on the podcast. I want to talk to him about what Alex.
I'll let him know.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. I'll hooked up with him.
Yeah, definitely.
He
Wayne's
like I
World?
said, he was in the Wayne's World movie.
Both of them.
I will promote your music more if you bring them on.
I will. And plus, he's a great engineer. He's a great. He masters and mixes for the.
And not only that, he is the nicest. You talk about me being humble. This is the nicest, most humblest man you will ever meet in your life. He makes me look like a jerk. That's how awesome he is.
Yeah, so he's our rock star. Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's worthy of it. You know, I mean, I'll definitely relay the message to see if he'll do your podcast.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, he's always down to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you froze there for a second.
He's legend.
But Wayne, your story about meeting Kiss and is also another powerful story about forgiveness as well. I love stories like that.
Yeah, I did.
Like you were 46 when you forgave him, but it happened 15, 25, 35, almost 30 years. 30 years later and you forgave the guy. Wow.
Yeah. I literally said to myself, I forgive you. I actually forgave Paul Stanley. It ain't like, what he did to me was, and I think, because now reading the book, he was just looking at Gene Simmons going, screw this dude.
Yeah.
Because they had turmoil. I didn't know. I didn't know because it was about the music. I didn't know what was going on in the band.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons was trying to be Hollywood. Paul Stanley's trying to keep his baby together. And then when I gave Paul Stanley that dial, he just looked at it and said, screw you, dude. But he didn't understand what it meant to me. Then I remember, and all my friends seen it. All the people in my town seen that Kiss dial. They tell me, we have conversations to this day. Wayne, you had your Gene Simmons had that Kiss dial on his mic like that. And I remember.
Wait a second. That was a Gene Simmons doll you gave to Paul Stanley?
Yeah. Because
you think he would have had a different attitude if it was a Paul Stanley doll and you handed it to Paul Stanley
doll? Yeah. I think he would have did, because what I was just getting ready to say, when Gene Simmons he played with that, he stuck it on his mic, and the mic was like this, and the dial, and he played when it fell off the mic. I watched it. It fell off the mic. He picked up the dial. He threw it to his roadie, and he stuck it in the case. Yeah. Gene kept it. Yeah, I think if it would have been an Eric Carr dial, or Ace Frehley dial, I don't know, but something happened when he looked at that dial. He's just like, but what made me give it to Paul? I don't know. Maybe I was just caught up in the moment. He was there. I was like, oh, here you go. I jumped the gun. But
I
man,
don't. I
I
don't
was
think it's a
very.
fact that one of his fans gave him a Gene Simmons doll. I think it's a fact that maybe he had something against Gene Simmons and he didn't really.
I think that's what it was, because after reading the book, I read the book and I realized, man, Gene, you were going to let this thing go. And I gained a lot of respect back for Paul Stanley. And
Incredible.
I honestly said to myself, Paul, I forgive you. I mean, it
Wow.
sounds kind of cheesy, but I mean,
That's okay.
hey, you're right. It's a forgiveness thing. I came to grips with myself. Move on.
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
amazing. But
That's awesome.
like, how do you guys stay inspired and motivated to continue creating music despite any obstacles or setbacks you may face?
Well, here, let me.
For me, I enjoy so much playing with this man. Every time he walks through this door, or we go to practice, or me, him, and Anthony together, me, him, Martin, and Anthony together, it just puts a smile on my face.
That's
I like that.
Yeah. So it's just like that's the easiest inspiration to have, is when you're playing with people you actually enjoy being around.
Sweet.
I take it you guys have merch that you can give to other fans of yours? Because I love that hat.
That's the hat, the Marine hat.
Well, there's an
Yeah.
Element
There's
117
an Element
shirt.
117 shirt.
But no,
Yeah.
we're gonna get some. We're
We're working on merch right now. We're getting ready because, like I said,
we're a fairly new band.
yeah,
I mean,
and we're trying to get the music out there first. Once we get the music out there to the fans, then the merch will come. So, right now we got 3 songs done. We probably got another, with the way Wayne writes, we probably got another about 52 songs in the works.
Wow.
we have enough songs we go play live with.
Yeah.
We were playing with different players, and now we're recording and we're coming out with some different players too. So, because we want to really give Element 117 its full due.
Exactly.
And that's inspiration. Just to go record and like I said, go play with Mike, because man, it's the same thing. I'm inspired. He inspires me, and it's tough, man. There's times you go down there and you're like, man, I can't write a song. I was like that. I was like, dude, I can't come up with nothing. And you know what? Wrote dreams.
Yeah.
Just be glad you guys get along.
Yeah, I always tell Wayne I can run faster than him. So,
Oh, I got the title of your next song.
Mike can run fast.
Yeah, Mike has got great work ethic.
Interesting. So, how do you approach the process of promoting your music and building your fan base?
Well, just through Facebook, and we probably drive everybody crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what they say. Oh, you gotta go on Facebook. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. I see all the time. People got 15,000 followers. I go look at the page and like 4 people like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
and it's everything. Every time, like, we're out at a store one day, and we're at a music store, and the guy's talking to me, and my wife says, "Hey, why don't you check out Element 117?" No, it wasn't even. We were at not even. It was a tool store. We were at a power tool store, and my wife's like, "Check out Element 117."
Yeah, and get in with you.
Yeah,
sending you
exactly.
songs.
It's also the people like you is what helps us the most.
We hope
that's what helps us the most.
We hope if we make some noise, we're the kind of people we're gonna go back and, hey, Chris, Robert, hey man, we're playing good shows now. We got a great following. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna come back to you and say, hey,
exactly,
you're on this ride with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people that listen to you, we might never meet in our lives, but you know what? We got a fan because of you.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that more than anything.
Because you know how it is. You try to promote yourself on Facebook. Yeah. I think that's how I found you. And really, people just stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they would just, like you said, but then they say, oh, if you don't have a good following, you're not going to do this and do that. we're growing our page. We're growing our fan base,
Yeah.
one person at a time.
Exactly.
We're almost up to 900 followers because we follow. You know what I mean? We take time to listen to you. And
So, what do you think of social media? Like all this crap on Twitter or X, and like it. Do you have any trepidation about going on social media?
well, I think it's a platform for you to get out there. But it's just like anything. You got your clicks, you got your popularity contest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just how you deal with it. You know, it could be the best tool, or
Or
it
it
could be your worst tool.
I miss the old days of how it used to be,
Yeah.
going out there and playing the club circuit and actually meeting the people. But I also love how it is now, because like if we didn't have social media this like that, we would never meet you.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah, you couldn't keep touch with our fans.
Yeah.
Like I got friends of mine I went to high school with, I grew up with, I ain't seen in 20, 30 years, and they're like, man, Wayne, you got a kick-ass rock band. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, and social media can do that. The little bit of people that do like our stuff, they like it.
Yeah.
But it's a double-edged sword, man.
It is, yeah.
You could piss people off.
How do you deal with hate comments and hate?
Well, we've
Haters.
been lucky not to really. I really haven't had no hate comments. I just know people probably go, well, I'm going to snooze him because all I'm seeing is his feed. They get sick of seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't want you to succeed.
My wife runs all my social media, so everybody out there, if you're talking to somebody, it ain't me, because I can't deal with social media.
And I have an obligation too. When somebody wants to put me on their playlist, I have an obligation to share it.
Yeah.
Because they promoted me, I need to promote them.
Yeah.
And so I might get 5 or 6 people, 7 people in 1 week put us on a playlist, and people are thinking that you're over here trying to show off. No, you're not. You're just showing respect.
Yeah.
Like when your podcast comes out, I got to promote you.
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
promoting. And Wayne thanks everybody.
Yeah,
Element 117 thanks everybody.
Yeah, this is not about self-gratification at all, man. Dude, I do this because I have to do it, man. It keeps me sane.
Wow.
You know, and I want to go play. I want to go play live. I want to go play I want to play in festivals. You know what I mean? I want
to get our boys Rattle Trap to check him out.
Yeah, and our friends Rattle Trap playing a festival down in Wisconsin. That's awesome. We all do this because we love to do it.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time and money, to write these songs, and I don't do it for nothing. I do it, but I would like people to gravitate to it. Because someone needs to hear it, just like I needed to hear the music when I was in a situation. But social media, hey man, it's a free platform, so no one has the right to take it for what it is.
So I wish all rock bands and celebrities as well would have your same attitude, because like I've heard a lot of people say that I've met such and such from this band and they were really rude or they snubbed me. What do you think is their issue?
That could happen. I have one from my own hometown. I've ran across, I met him and I was like, man, I wish I'd never met the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, you know what? Yeah, that can happen. People
like
do have
family.
Yeah, people do have like that. I imagine Mike could probably tell you about that.
I can tell you a story, and I always tell everybody this. Me being a guitar player, I'm a huge, of course, like I said, the guys I've brought up, Peter Constantagus, Eddie Van Halen. But, I've never been, and oh God, I mean, this really hurts to say, because I know a lot of people are going to look at me and go, oh, I've never been a Steve Vai fan. There's something about the way he played just really never, I don't know, it never really touched me, made me move. 1988, I'm in North Carolina in the middle of December. Whitesnake comes to concert. So I'm in the Marine Corps. We're stationed in North Carolina. We're like, hey, let's drive up and go see Whitesnake. I'm like, sure, you know. So we watch Whitesnake. Well, after the show, it's about 20, 25 degrees out. David Coverdale runs onto the bus. Rudy Sarzo, Tommy Aldridge, Adrian Vandenberg. Steve Vai stood out there in black leather pants, boots, and just a white shirt for 2 hours and shook everybody's hand. And I said, you know what? I respect him more for that than anything else he can do on the guitar.
Wow.
You know, anything that he can do on the guitar, I respect him more for that. Stood out there for 2 hours in that cold weather and shook everybody's hand.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive because Steve Vai he's a pretty big celebrity. But like I said, until you walk in their shoes, when you have people coming at you all day long, you don't know how you're going to take it. You know?
That's me. I'm that person. I'm the one that Wayne is the mayor of Element 117. He's going to shake all the hands. He's going to kiss all the babies. Me, the second I'm off stage, you will not find me.
I'm the Magic Johnson. He's the Larry Bird.
I'm gone.
It'll be like Mike, your wife will be there saying, hey, I'm shaking hands.
My wife
actually Mike's wife, so you can shake mine.
Because my wife will watch me. Because listen, I'm not going to lie. I am a smoker. I smoke cigarettes. Yeah. It's my last vice that I have to get rid of. And I always say to myself, listen, I'm getting on stage for an hour. I'm going to give you 120% that whole hour I'm up there. Just give me 5 minutes after I get off stage to go have a cigarette, and I'll come back in and say hi. There are sometimes my wife will be laughing. It takes me an hour to get to that door. And she is laughing the whole time. And I'm like, oh.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah, I like that. Steve Vai shaking your hands and Gene Simmons putting the doll on the microphone. Yeah, you got some nice people in that band, but I wish that the rest of the band would say, you know what? I want to do what Steve does, and I'm going to shake hands with everyone. But
yeah,
you want to be nice to your fans. You're going to lose.
We need more people like that, you know.
Yeah,
and not even. It doesn't even have to be celebrities, musicians, just normal people in this world. Just a lot more like that.
And I think it's coming back. I think people are getting a little more, you know, interactive with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one Alice Cooper story here. Well, a friend of mine said that they went on a golf course and said, "Hey, I want a pastor, so like I want to introduce you to a friend of mine." He goes out there, and there's this guy on the golf course with long hair, and he's trying to get some practice swings. And says, Vincent, this is wait, are you? Yeah, that's Alice Cooper. Really?
Yeah.
So I found Alice Cooper golfing on the golf course. So, you know, normal people.
Yeah, they are. Exactly.
Yeah. We have a lot of them in Nashville.
Yeah.
A lot of famous people live here. You run across them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of
some are really cool, some won't give you the time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of country singers from Nashville. It seems that Nashville is where people want to go these days.
I'm talking rock stars.
Yeah, we're rock stars.
Rock stars.
Yeah. It's not only country. There's a lot of rock stars out there.
That's different. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure in Nashville you'll bump into many of the biggest country singers probably.
Oh yeah. No, they're here.
So yeah, well, one last question before we end the stream. What advice would you give to aspiring musicians who are looking to follow a similar path in their, similar path as you?
I would just say, you know, just keep your head up, man, and just follow your heart, man, because you're gonna hit bumps in the road.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take it as far as you want to. You're gonna go as far as you let yourself go, because people are always gonna tell you, no, you're not good enough, you're not this, and have some kind of income, you know. Try to be able to take care of yourself. Don't rely on somebody to take care of you, because when you can take care of yourself, you can make the decisions on your own. So that would be my advice: just follow your dreams and just take care of yourself first, and everything else will come.
That is amazing.
Yeah, most definitely. when I was, like I was saying, I told you earlier, I was 17 years old when I joined the Marine Corps. And I mean, I was in boot camp with people all the way up to 26 years old, 26-year-old men. And when my platoon, the first day my platoon started, we had 92 people. We only graduated 54 of them. So 38 of them went home. They couldn't make it. And I will tell this to every musician out there, self-confidence. Just pick up that instrument every day. If there's something you can't do, tell yourself you can do it. And just keep practicing, and you'll get it. You'll get it. There'll be some tough times. I have it now. I mean, there's times I pick up the guitar, and I feel like I'm taking 3 steps back. And then there's but I never stop picking up that guitar, because then that one day I'm taking 5 steps forward. You gotta have that self-confidence in yourself, and put them blinders on and just follow, like Wayne says, follow your dream.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
So rock stars that have been around, they suddenly walk away from the band to get normal jobs. Brings me to, you ever heard of the 80s band Tommy Two-Tone?
Yes.
What's that song? 867-5309 Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tommy Heath, the lead singer, after that band broke up, he went and got a normal job as a software designer. And I don't know if you remember of the show Bands Reunited. They wanted to reunite the members of Tommy Two-Tone, and they found Tommy Heath in a software company.
Wow.
So they asked him if he could just get. So they had to get all the rest of the band together, like John Cowsill and Jim Keller. But yeah,
that's awesome.
It was hard to get all the members of Squeeze together because.
Oh my God, that's another great. Oh, that was a great band.
Yeah.
Well, now that time has moved on, you find out that these guys that were in these bands back in the day, a lot of these guys were hired guns.
Yeah.
They were getting paid a wage. They're not getting royalties. They're not.
Yeah.
So people had to go get a job.
Yeah.
A few made money.
Well, you just don't know who you're working with. Thank you very much, guys, Wayne and Mike.
Thank you.
It's been great.
The opportunity to interview you guys, and not sure when we're going to release this episode, but I really like that part about Kiss, your meeting with Paul Stanley. That's going to be my promo video I'm going to add to my page. That's a great story.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I want people to know that you met Paul Stanley, because there's a lot of Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, Eric Carr fan. Well, Eric Carr's passed away years ago, but yeah.
Well, I met him from here to here.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Hey,
okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Please stay
You too,
right there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
No, please stay right there for a minute.
Oh,
Let me end the stream. Okay, everyone. We're going to end the stream, but stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, everyone. Element 117 out.
You got me rolling.